Laker fans, Laker supporters, Laker gang, Laker Nation, Lakers worldwide. This is the episode 2 of the Laker Chisme podcast, broadcasting live from LA County. Um, we have a lot to get into after this weekend, after Friday's game versus Dallas on the road, and Sunday's game against the Spurs. You know, that Texas road trip that'll end actually in Chicago tomorrow night, Tuesday evening when Anthony Davis has his homecoming. Um, First of all, you know, it was a hell of a performance Friday night for the Lakers, with Danny Green, with LeBron, with Anthony Davis, everyone contributing to get the Lakers not only to tie it up in the fourth quarter, but to get them into overtime. Danny Green, of course, hit a couple of clutch threes. LeBron and Anthony Davis, they smashed in some daggers in overtime to give them a 9-point win, 119-110, close to their almost their third 120-point game, but obviously they're one point shy. Incredible game. One of the best games I've seen in recent memory. Everyone seems like they had a hand in the win, and there was a team effort to contribute, and everyone knew what needed to be done in order to win that game on the road. That was a big test. It's a conference game. A lot of talent on Dallas, but fortunately the Lakers pulled it out. And then, fast forward to Sunday, they play the Spurs again on the road, another conference game, possibly a potential playoff matchup with both teams. But the Lakers again came out victorious. There was a lot of, it was a team effort, definitely, but I would say for me, what I took away from that Spurs game was Dwight Howard. Dwight is still on a day-to-day contract, getting somewhere around 14 grand a day. It's not guaranteed until January, but based on what he's done for the team recently and how he's looking, how he's performing, how he's staying in the paint, in the post, on the block, getting rebounds, second chance points, block shots, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. He's really contributing, and he looks a lot like he did on the Magic when the Magic went to the finals and they played the Lakers. Unfortunately they lost, fortunately or unfortunately, but he looks like he's back in that state of mind and that physical state as far as how he's playing. So it wasn't just his defensive performance or what he was doing in the paint. It's also his field goal percentage being 7 of 7, scoring 14 points against the Spurs, 2 blocks. What he did on Friday, wasn't the most magnificent performance, but he came away with 4 points, I think 8 rebounds, and he shot 100% again. It was only one shot, but it was still 100%. I think he's only missed something like 5 field goals this season. And then he came away again with 3 blocks. So some of your league leaders in blocks, points, I think the top 5 scoring leaders in the NBA right now are Anthony Davis and LeBron James. I think Dwight Howard's top 5 in the NBA in blocks. I'm not sure if Anthony Davis is up there. He might be. But basically, this is centered around the Lakers defense and what they're doing to plug up the paint, what they're doing to beat teams. This is one of my favorite things to watch because it's not the, you don't get all the credit for playing defense. You don't get credit for throwing your body on the floor, for taking a charge, for running after a loose ball. You get credit for, the flashy things like dunking or, a 3-point shot. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there's something to be said about a defensive-minded team this early in the season, which the Lakers seem to be completely, especially with the coaching staff, with Frank Vogel and Jason Kidd and everyone that they have on their team. It seems like this is a good tone to set early in the game, and the Lakers, I think, are, if not the top defensive team, they're definitely one of the top, but I think they're number one in the NBA in defense. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's going to be a good season. I know it's only, 6 games in, but Lakers are at number one in the conference, 5-1 as of this morning. If you haven't checked out the league rankings, or, specifically the conference rankings, power rankings, the Lakers right now, at least within the league, Sports Illustrated and NBA.com have them listed at number 3, which is fine if they weren't number 1 in the Western Conference. So there's I wouldn't call it a little discrepancy. There's a major discrepancy with the Lakers, their schedule, as well as what they should be ranked. Because, of course, there's a bias against the Lakers, as usual, that everyone knows about, where the Clippers are ranked number 2. How can you be ranked number 2 higher than the Lakers, higher than the lead, the conference leader? That doesn't make any sense. I get Philadelphia, they're proving themselves. They're undefeated. But as far as the Western Conference goes, there's no reason why the Lakers should be anything less than number 2 in the NBA for the power rankings, because they're number 1 in the conference. But that's to be expected. They're always under scrutiny. There's always, a microscope under how they're playing, whether it's on or off the court, anything to deter how good the Lakers are, anything to discredit them. It's been done years and years again, or time and time again. So this is nothing new, but it's kind of annoying. But as the season progresses, I think you'll see more of that classic LeBron, classic Dwight Howard. You're gonna again see Danny Green hit big shots. Davis is going to be a monster. He's going to be the Olympian and, the collegiate champion that he is. And hopefully this is all setting the stage for the postseason. But aside from that, and the Lakers defense, Dwight Howard, LeBron has recently passed Kobe Bryant as number 15 of all time in steals. So he recently passed him this weekend. His number 14 is Derek Harper. Then it's Allen Iverson. So he could potentially, or he should pass both, or at least Derek Harper this season. So that would put him at 14, possibly 13. But that's another milestone. What I've been saying from the beginning of the season is this is going to be a record-setting as well as a record-breaking season in, I think, a few different facets, but apparently its defense is one of them. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do, the remainder of what's coming, of this year, and then how that transitions into next year, the All-Star break, and then the postseason. Because, expectations are high. The Lakers are full of talent, full of depth. Kuzma's back, slowly getting back into it. So we'll see what he's going to do, a few games from now or a month from now. Still waiting on Rondo to come back. Avery Bradley, if you're watching the game on Sunday against the Spurs, went out early with an injury. He had, x-rays taken. They came back negative. So he's listed day to day, so he should be back soon. But the next game's, again, tomorrow night Tuesday night against the Bulls, 5 p.m. Pacific. Anthony Davis, from Chicago, it's homecoming. It's going to be a hot game. I hope it goes well for the Lakers. And then they can come back home on Friday against the Heat. And, the Heat have Jimmy Butler. So it's going to be another test. Fortunately, it's going to be at Staples, be at home. But we'll see what happens. They're definitely going to need their defense, their bigs, to plug up the middle. And we'll see what happens. Lastly, I just want to cover LeBron's I Promise School. Right now, he apparently has 343 enrolled students, and now he's released that he's doing transitional housing for the students and their families so that they can focus on their education and not have to worry about housing. So they have a old apartment building in Akron that they're renovating. They're adding 20 more units to meet more of the demand. So I just want to, include that because obviously we love LeBron as a basketball player and what he does on the court, but it's important to recognize what he does off the court in his spare time, things he doesn't have to do, but he does them anyway. So I want to thank you for joining again, and I will see you for episode 3. Thank you.